Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is team news reaction time with me, Paul Machin, and dancing Chris Pajak behind the camera. I've tried my best to focus on the camera. I was vaguely aware of just so much flesh going on that no one will ever... I don't think I will ever be quite the same again, in a good way. Yes, plenty of ways you can interact with the show. The team news is out in less than a minute's time. One or two very, very interesting things to discuss in this side. We will get through it, but yeah, you can react using the live comments alongside the video here on YouTube. You can tweet at the Redmen TV if you want to get involved. And as with all of these things, don't forget that you can, if you're a YouTube member, you can get access to custom emotes to spam away to your heart's content in the comments. And if you're a club captain or club legend tier subscriber, you get access to the final word show for the Liverpool Man United game, which is going to be recording on Monday morning. But yes, the team is out. Chris Pajak is at the board. Chris Pajak, what is the team?
Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. The team is out. It's Liverpool versus Manchester United in the Premier League. What a big game this is tonight. We have got Alisson Becker in goal, Andy Robertson left back. We think it's going to be Fabinho and Jordan Henderson at the centre of the fence with Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. We've got it down as a midfield two of Thiago and Wijnaldum, with Shaqiri in the 10 position, and the front three, it's Sadio Mane, it's Mo Salah, and it's Roberto Firmino. The substitutes tonight, Caoimhin Kelleher, James Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Kurt Jones, Taki Minamino, Origi, Reece Williams, Nat Phillips, and Nico Williams rounded off. But the big talking point, of course, is who starts in centre-back. So no Joel Matip, you'll have noticed there on the bench. So the rumours of him being sort of touch and go seem to very much be that they were just that, rumours, because he's not on the bench. So Liverpool will probably start with Fabinho and Jordan Henderson at centre-half for the second time this season. We've got it down as a two because what I'm thinking at the moment is, with two DMs essentially, or two midfielders as our centre-halves, I'm going to go, let's try and cover for them a little bit more with the likes of Thiago and Gini Wijnaldum. So what we want to see is a little bit of Trent doing that. We know Henderson can do that. Maybe it's as simple as Wijnaldum drops in, or maybe it's what we normally do, whereby Thiago will go into that sort of right-back position. Same exact thing on the other side. And I think the other side's more important for me today because I feel like Wan-Bissaka hasn't been in the best form for Manchester United. I was talking to Mark Goldbridge in the week, who was saying exactly the same, to be honest with you, and he was scared of the left-hand side. So we've not seen loads of Trent Alexander-Arnold getting forwards, plus the fact that they always seem to attack behind Trent Alexander-Arnold makes me think that if Liverpool are going to win this game, it's going to be Robertson, it's going to be Mane and Gini Wijnaldum. That three over there is where it's really important. So Wijnaldum will drop in, Robertson will go forwards, and Shaqiri, I'd imagine, will come over here to make a little triangle, and then it's Robertson's job to get in behind. So yeah, that's the formation. It's something that everybody spoke about in the build-up to this game, and I was very much of the opinion that Jurgen wouldn't do it, and very much of the opinion that you should put a bet on Shaqiri starting, because I said he's absolutely not going to start someone who has played less than 90 minutes of Premier League football so far this season in a game against Manchester United for top of the table. Now, just because I've said that, you should have put a bet on Shaqiri starting, because I'm always wrong. It's just the way that it is. Now, the other option, of course, is if we play a 4-3-3. Now, we've seen Shaqiri play in the middle of the park as well, and he's got that sort of little bit of freedom to it. Maybe it's more sort of like that, you know, a three like that, not quite a 4-3-3, not quite a 4-2-3-1. Maybe that's actually how I think Liverpool will probably use that midfield. So very much a two when it needs to be, but also a one when we're attacking, so we can get extra bodies forwards. But either way, Shaqiri's going to be pivotal to this game. Can he get the 90 minutes? Can he go the 90 minutes? I'm not 100% sure. But if Liverpool are going to do something, we saw with Thiago, we saw with Shaqiri when they were both on the field last week, that they can break defences open. It's those vertical passes that we see far too little of, actually, as a Liverpool fan. You know, we could become quite rhythmic in our passing side to side. Thiago will not let us do that. Shaqiri won't let us do that. They've both got vision, and they're going to be looking to get in behind the Manchester United defence with defence splitting passes. So yeah, really excited for this one, if you can't already tell. I could probably go on for another 10 minutes, but I am going to throw back to Paul Machin, and I'm going to go and sit over in the studio. Unless you've got anything to add to the board in any way, Because I suppose there's a question, if Shaqiri can't go the 90, Paul, who comes in? Who's that first sub?
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance Shaqiri lasts 90 minutes in this one, but it's interesting. I think it's a very, very bold call from the manager to go with Shaqiri. I had it as I thought it'd be Curtis Jones. I thought I would be nailed on of them, just because of the extra height that Curtis Jones gives you as well as anything else. But Shaqiri, he's an X factor, and he's something that I think we've been lacking a little bit, and particularly in a game like this. If you can't put your best foot forward, if you can't play the style of football that you really, really want to be playing, then do something a little bit different and have Shaqiri in there and just have him play footy, just have him float around, get him close to Bobby Firmino, and make things happen. But no, I think that's I think you've got that spot on there, Chris. I can't really see anything other than that. You could make a case for a variation on a 4-3-3. You could put Gini in the 6, you have Thiago left, Shaqiri right. And Shaqiri's done both sides of the 3-4s this season at one point or another. But yeah, a really interesting one. I've had a real struggle getting hold of the Man United team, but I finally found it because they've got this, the same as Liverpool. They're trying to peddle something else with this, that reveal tweets. Yeah. But we have had Scott Brown join us as a club legend. Thank you so much, Scott Brown. You're going to get access to the Final Word show on Monday for this. We've also had a super chat come in, which I haven't vetted first. Jung Hyuk Kwan. Right, okay. Hey, up the Reds, top of the league. Thanks for the great coverage. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all of you watching. Of course, we'll be doing the watch along a little bit later. But yeah, the Man United team, Chris, De Gea in goal, back forward of Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Adam Wan-Bissaka, Scott McTominay and Fred, as we kind of hypothesised on the build-up show, are back into the centre midfield. Pogba, it looks like, is left of a 3 in the 4-2-3-1. Bruno Fernandes in the 10, Rashford from the right, Martial centre forward. So after all the rumours that Martial wouldn't be back in, Goldbridge called it right, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what it is. And just for anybody who's watching, Tom, we've actually got this on the screen, so we can sort of visualise exactly what Paul's been saying. So I'm going to talk about it now as well, mate. And you can see there, it looks a bit strange actually with Pogba from that left hand side, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like a position that we've seen him play a lot of. Maybe that's an area to target, because will Pogba track Trent Alexander-Arnold if Trent is going forwards? We know Luke Shaw's a good left back, and we know that he can certainly do that, but certainly there's space there, I think, for Trent Alexander-Arnold to get into the game. And equally on that left hand side with Wan-Bissaka behind Rashford, you know, that's interesting because Rashford's always played that role where he gets in behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. So if he's playing on that right hand side against Robertson, I don't know, does that say that he's not going to be over there? Is it Martial's going to be pulling to the left?
I'm far happier with Rashford on the right-hand side than I am the other way around. I mean, look, let's be fair. I mean, he's been playing that for a bit recently, which I've been quite surprised by in the bits and pieces I've seen in Manchester United. But Andy Robertson's our best fullback this season. He's arguably our best player so far this season. So that actually could benefit Man United, and just trying to keep Robbo pinned back a little bit. But from a Liverpool doing their business first, look, McTominay and Fred are their best midfield pairing, but I think we can do a job on them if needs be. And you're right, the Pogba thing, they've been getting a bit of a tune out of him doing that thing from the left hand side. But again, if you'd ask, you're right. Maybe it's slightly simple analysis, and I've not seen anything in my own eyes that goes against this analysis. Is that you're right? What you were saying there is that is Paul Pogba, when the chips are down, when it gets a little bit tricky, and the heat of battle, is he going to be the guy when he's feeling a bit tired, or maybe something's not quite gone his way or whatever? Is he going to be the guy to plumb in and do all the dirty work? We'll have to see. But McTominay and Fred certainly gives them the platform to do that.
Yeah, you're right. It depends where he is on the field, because if Manchester United are playing counter-attacking football and they are very much a case of Pogba's sitting deeper as a left-sided midfielder, then that I can understand, because his range of passing is absolutely brilliant. No one's worried about Pogba's passing ability. Mm-hmm. I'd rather him not be in the centre of the park, because he could hit those balls over the top to the likes of Marcus Rashford and Martial. I'd rather him be out on that left-hand side. But if he is playing deep, he's got that ability. You know, a cross-field pass to a rampaging Marcus Rashford is something that you're going to seriously be worried about, aren't you? But I'm quite happy with that, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure it would be.
big thing in the midfield for me, and it's not having Henderson in the midfield and not having James Milner in the midfield, is who is going to go and boot Bruno Fernandes up in the air, because someone very much should do. Somebody needs to go in the first 5 minutes of the game, 10 minutes, if that, and let him know that he's in for a match.
Pity Milner's on the bench, really.
100%, but that's the point, isn't it? And I think we're a little down on the Henderson at centre half thing, and I think we're rightly so, because look, let's make no bones about it. Henderson's best position is a midfield 8. His second best position is a 6. And I would play him in most positions on the field. There's not enough evidence yet that he's good enough to play in the big games at centre half.
If he's got that two-man midfield in front of him, then that offers another layer of protection, doesn't it?
I'm not even asked about the protection thing. It's just that it's the finer point of being a defender. And we saw this at Southampton. It's who's marshalling the defence. Whose job is it to bollock everyone and tell them where they need to be? Because Fabinho's got more experience, but Jordan Henderson's the captain. And is Jordan Henderson know enough about that role to be able to do that, to keep that type, particularly if they're playing counter-attacking style, particularly with pace, particularly if we're going to try and play our normal sort of high-ish line, certainly. And the problem, of course, is that it's then just competency, and then it's about drive and all those things. Henderson just feels shackled playing at centre half, so it's going to require a lot from Thiago and Wijnaldum, but they're capable. That midfield 3, Shaqiri's an unknown quantity, so I don't really know what to say this, but you could swap him out for Curtis Jones or Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I would suggest that midfield 3 is at least as good. I don't think we've got anyone as good a 10 as Bruno Fernandes, but Thiago's better than Fred or McTominay, and I think Wijnaldum's better than Fred or McTominay, so 2 or 3 we've got the better of them.
It's probably not Henderson who's going to be leading that. I think, Robertson's going to have a lot to say. It's harder to do it from left-back position, of course. I think Fabinho probably has to lead from the centre of defence. But the other big player in this game, and if Liverpool are playing a high line, I think I said this on the build-up show, it's Alisson Becker. He has to be on the edge of his D if we're playing a high line, and he has to commit when he decides to come out, and just get rid sometimes if that's what it means. So, yeah, we've got to have a little bit of faith in Jürgen today. But also the other thing is, what's Thiago going to bring? Because it's very easy to focus on the negatives of having Henderson there, but we're actually going to see Thiago in a big game for us as well.
The closest he's been to fitness in a long old while. Yes, and look, you're right. There's tons of positives. That's a good team. That's a very, very, very good team we put out there. If we were playing Man City, I'd be slightly concerned, more concerned than I am. I'm not concerned about the things, because a lot of this still is like, we're waiting for it to 100% prove it. Some of the elements of this team, certainly, but no, it's absolutely fine. The first goal is going to be massive in this one. I think if you can get to a position where you can get a goal up here, and then see if you can get in Man United's heads, because I don't think they genuinely believe they're ready yet to be up the top.
No.
They will be emboldened if the game stays 0-0, or if they snatch a goal. If Liverpool get that goal and then go into game management mode and then look to play on the counter attack themselves and just look to suck Man United in, which I think we're capable of doing. I think we can win this game pretty well, but we'll have to see.
Just finally on the Henderson point, him and Fabinho, I imagine whether they thought Matip was going to be fit or not, they will have been working on how to play centre-half together for 9 days, give or take. That's an advantage that we maybe have had from playing Friday to Sunday.
Yeah, and one thing finally on them too, if they get rinsed for pace, then they get rinsed for pace, but they're in there because they're the fastest 2 centre-halves we've got available to us. So if we find that Jordan Henderson gets done by Martial or Rashford for pace, then I would suggest that it's only because it would have been embarrassing for Reece Williams or for Nat Phillips to be in that situation, because I was agreeing with your logic on the build-up show. I'd have just put Reece Williams in this game and put Henderson in midfield, but we might be trying something different. You said it for a while. Maybe Thiago we were building towards a 4-2-3-1, particularly maybe for specific types of games, or maybe in this current COVID environment when you can't be as intense. Our style that we've built over years doesn't really suit the lack of fitness that we've got and the lack of intensity around the league. So maybe this is something that this is going to be a revolutionary change, but we'll have to see.
Also, the big thing, one final thing on Henderson and Fabinho, they need to be certain that they're going to get the ball if they're in the box. Like, they absolutely need to be certain, and that might be a thing why we didn't go with like a Reece or a Nat Phillips, just that exuberance of youth, where they just want to get the ball back. Like, everybody knows in the build-up to this that Manchester United have been winning a lot of penalties, so you have to be certain that you're getting the ball.
That's it. Look, Man United are going to break. They're going to look to hit on the counter where they can, and I think we're going to be when they're attacking, we're going to be chasing back a lot. And I think I'm more comfortable with that being Jordan Henderson than any other of the potential options that we've got around. So that Gareth Baird with the £5 super chat. Thank you so much, Gareth. I have faith in Klopp. Let's destroy the Manx and show them what it's like to play with the big boys. I'm going to predict a 4-0 win. Wow, I love that. I genuinely adore that positivity. I don't think it's outside the realms of possibility, but I do think that, as I say, we need to be. The first half an hour, I think, is going to be very, very telling on how this game's gone. And welcome as well to Gareth, who's joined as a first team member here on YouTube as well. Get those emotes flying in the comments and save them if you want to. Not that you don't have to save them up in any way. They're not currency. You can use them as much as you want.
Maybe we should start a Bitcoin type thing with our emoji.
Yeah.
We'll go and mine a few more.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be back for the watch-along. It will be 4:15. We're going to be back here doing a watch-along, doing some commentary, listening to some Liverpool songs and having a general laugh and a chat with you guys, while hopefully we put the Manx back in their place, which is firmly below us in the table. We shall see you all very, very shortly for that. Ta-ra. Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
Diogo Jota everywhere. Right hand side, left hand side, deep as well.
If you want to request a song as well.
How do they do that, Paul?
You just literally go, "Gives a song." Glory round the field.
It's a no.
No, this doesn't feel great. Do you know what? The chocolate's melting and it's slipping out of my hand.
Oh, it's wobbly! It's a wobbly biscuit! The champions are back on top of the pile.